Welcome to the History Lessons and Stories podcast. Today, we'll be diving into one of the most significant events in American history, the Great Depression. This period, stretching from the late 1920s into the 1940s, transformed not only the American economy but also the lives of millions of Americans. We'll explore the causes and effects of the Great Depression, how it impacted everyday lives, and the recovery measures that followed. So, get ready to learn about an economic crisis that reshaped our nation. Let's begin by setting the scene with the decade before the Great Depression, known as the Roaring Twenties. This was a time characterized by significant economic prosperity, technological advances, and a cultural shift in the United States. Americans were excited and eager to invest in the booming stock market, often doing so by buying on margin. This was a risky practice where individuals would borrow money to purchase stocks, investing only a small portion of their own money upfront. The widespread ownership of consumer goods such as cars, radios, and household appliances became commonplace, leading to a sense of wealth. However, this prosperity wasn't shared equally. Many farmers and factory workers did not enjoy similar benefits, leaving gaps in wealth distribution that would have dire consequences. Fast forward to October 29, 1929, a date forever etched in history as Black Tuesday, when the stock market crashed spectacularly, wiping out billions in value. This catastrophic event didn't solely cause the Great Depression, rather, it acted as a catalyst that triggered a domino effect. As investors lost confidence, banks began to fail, businesses closed their doors, and the unemployment rate surged dramatically. By the end of 1929, stocks had already lost almost 40% of their value, leaving countless investors destitute. In the coming years, this crash would lead to widespread bank failures. When people rushed to withdraw their money, seeking to secure their savings, it caused what we refer to as bank runs. Banks, having loaned out depositors' funds, found themselves unable to provide immediate cash for everyone, resulting in the closing of over 9,000 banks between 1930 and 1933. This left a trail of ruined savings and deepened the economic crisis. One significant environmental disaster during this time was the Dust Bowl, a severe ecological catastrophe that struck the Great Plains region, including states like Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, from 1930 to 1936. Farmers had uprooted native grasses in a frenzy to plant wheat, unwittingly creating conditions that contributed to the disaster. When the drought hit, the soil became loose and easily picked up by fierce winds, resulting in massive dust storms that devastated crops and caused health problems for many. This led to thousands of Okies fleeing their homes, searching for a better life in California, as famously depicted in John Steinbeck's novel, The Grapes of Wrath. Meanwhile, as the economy continued to decline, unemployment rates soared. By 1933, a staggering 25% of Americans were out of work, translating to about 13 million people. Those who managed to maintain their jobs often faced severe wage cuts. Homelessness became rampant, and makeshift shantytowns sprang up across the country, derisively named Hoovervilles after President Herbert Hoover, who many blamed for the crisis. These communities, constructed from scrap materials, were a stark reflection of the desperation many felt. To cope with the economic despair, many people turned to soup kitchens and breadlines for food. In 1932, Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected president with a promise of a New Deal for the American people, offering hope for recovery. His election marked a significant shift in policy as he promised a series of reforms designed to pull the nation out of economic turmoil. During his first 100 days, he implemented a wave of groundbreaking legislation known as the First New Deal, which included programs aimed at job creation and Social Security. Notable initiatives included the Civilian Conservation Corps, which hired young men to work on environmental projects, and the Works Progress Administration, which undertook large public works projects, building infrastructure like roads, schools, and bridges. The Social Security Act of 1935 established a social safety net for the elderly and unemployed, fundamentally changing the relationship between the government and its citizens. Another essential development was the Tennessee Valley Authority, created in 1933, which provided jobs and brought electricity to rural areas that previously lacked access. The TVA constructed dams and provided flood control, effectively transforming one of the country's poorest regions. These New Deal programs, while controversial, played a crucial role in reducing some of the worst effects of the Great Depression. It's important to understand that while the New Deal helped alleviate some economic pain, it wasn't the ultimate solution that ended the Depression. The turning point came during World War II when the United States ramped up military production. Factories shifted their focus to war materials, creating millions of jobs. As the nation prepared for war, unemployment rates plummeted from 14% in 1940 to below 2% by 1944, a record low in U.S. history. World War II's economic impact proved to be the final push that led the country out of the Great Depression. To recap, the Great Depression was marked by a series of complex factors, starting with the economic prosperity of the 1920s followed by the catastrophic stock market crash of 1929. The resulting bank failures and environmental disasters like the Dust Bowl exacerbated the situation, leading to widespread unemployment and desperation. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal introduced significant reforms to support recovery, laying the groundwork for social safety measures that continue to this day. Ultimately, it was the economic demands of World War II that helped pull the country from the depths of the Great Depression. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Great Depression. We've explored its causes, the human cost, and how it shaped modern America. Don't forget to check out additional resources to expand your understanding of this pivotal time in history. Until next time, keep exploring and learning about the past, as it helps us understand our present and shape our future.